See if we get a clean one. That is one thing with the air pressure, air pressure, air pressure. Oh, right into the Yi camera. So what I'm going to do here is give you guys a little outdoor flight of the Air Elite 115 from Nikko Air, the DRL drone. I'm a big fan of this guy. I'm pretty impressed by it. It flies real nice. It has the prop guard thing that goes like all the way around, and that works very well. So if you're just starting out, you're probably going to want to keep that on. But I got a little more experience, so I'm going to take it off, and we're going to give it a go out here. A little bit windy today, if you can see the flag over there. So we'll see how this performs. It does have a barometer in it, so the air pressure might have some issues with that, but we'll see what goes on. And I'm also gonna give you guys a little flight in the house. A little easier to hit the gates in the house. I'm gonna attempt it right here. This is the set that comes with the gates and the flags or the poles, whatever you wanna call them. So real quick on the quad, you got these nice tri-blade props. And the A props are a little bit darker than the B props. The B props are a little bit translucent. They're see-through. These ones are more solid, so they're yellow, and it may not come across great on camera, but looking at it in person, they are labeled to A and B. Front of the quad, you got your charging port. It charges off a micro USB connection, and this battery is a proprietary battery, 3.7 volt, 600 milliamp hour battery. It takes about an hour and 10 minutes to charge, I have found. So my one real big con with this quad is this battery. I mean, it flies fine and it gives you a good flight time, but the charging of it, you can't just grab any battery and pop it in here. So you got to use their batteries. Other than that, I like the way it flies. Show you that when we get in the air. Brief on the transmitter here. It is like a toy grade style, like a gaming controller is what I'm trying to say. And this one's geared more for kids, so I kind of understand why they did that. It has 3 modes over here. There's the Nikko mode, which gives you like assisted bank turns. I don't really mess around with that. If you want to screw around with it, you can also do funnels with it. So it's kind of interesting. Then the A mode is stability mode, your standard quadcopter. And then P mode is going to be acro for you. Tried a little bit of acro with this. I'm not super great at line of sight acro, so I don't mess with it too much. Then you got 3 rates over here, a low, a medium, and a high. And they just kind of turn on this thing. Then this A button is going to help you trim it, I believe. You hold it down and it does like, you give it like the trim adjustments the way you want to go. B is going to be your auto takeoff and auto land. And then these are your stunt buttons up here. These are flips over here, and these are like yaw spin type things. I'll show you that when we get in the air. So let's start it up here. And on the quad, power switch is down here. A little bit tough to find if you can miss it very easily. And your LED will flash. Start my controller. It does rumble. It also rumbles when it's LVC warning. So I'm going to hit the B, and we're up in the air here. So low rate. I'm probably going to have to switch to the high rate pretty quick with this wind out here. But it flies nice. I like the way this one flies. Seems to be handling this wind pretty decent in this low rate. So it is a nice flyer. I really like the way this one flies line of sight. Got no complaints about that. I'm gonna go right to the intermediate rate here, and it will rumble here when you switch your rates or give it any sort of change on the controller there. So we'll give you a flip button here. We'll hit this one. I like the way this one flips. It flips kind of like its big brother. Was it the 220 Race Vision drone or something like that? And I like the way that one flew line of sight. Wasn't a huge fan of it for FPV. But this one's strictly a line of sight flyer, which is kind of interesting with the gates and stuff. A little bit easier to hit gates with FPV flying, I think. But this one is basically a line of sight flyer. How do you like that? I almost took my head off. So there's some flips for you. Whoa, whoa, hit some wind there. Caught the gust of wind right when we were flipping. So, should we give this gate a little whirl here? Maybe we'll wait till the wind dies down a little bit. Go into the wind here. This is just the second rate, and it's fighting this wind pretty easily. Not having any problems flying into that. This one does fly real nice. It is a very quick flyer on a more calm day. you can just rip this thing through the air. It's still doing pretty good right here. All right, so the wind has died down a little bit here, so let's see if we can hit this gate. It is a nice little system they have here. Oh man, I do this every time. I try to go in low, and this does have like an auto shut off thing on the motors, so when you crash, the motors will stop, and that's gonna save your props and save your motors, so that's nice. All right, let's get this gate. Come on, we can do this here. Oh, clipped it. Let's see if we can get a clean one. See if we get a clean one. It is one thing with the air pressure. Oh, right into the Yee camera. That was actually pretty awesome. I like that. Let's put this guy back up. I'm not mad at hitting that Yee camera. That's good footage right there. That's just good footage. I can't wait to go back and look at that. I'm probably gonna do like a triple replay type of deal on that. What up? I cannot wait to see that footage. Took the Yee camera out. Oh, again. I didn't even do it on purpose. This is just getting ridiculous. All right, maybe I should move it back or something. Put it right there. How about that? See how that goes. Auto takeoff. Ooh, almost got pushed back into it with the wind. So let's give you, this is still the second rate. Let's go to the third rate here. And one thing I will say is for new people, new flyers, this one might be a little bit difficult with orientation. So here we are in the third rate. It gets quite a pitch on the third rate. And when you get away from yourself, it's a little hard to tell, you know, which way you're facing. So orientation might be a little difficult, but I haven't really had too many issues with it. You're probably gonna keep this one fairly close to you. Look at this pitch on this thing. Is that coming across on the camera? Let's try to come close. And, you know, be careful on that third rate going full forward pitch because you could go right into the ground pretty easily. Not sure the throttle can keep up with the pitch all the time. This thing flies super nice, super quiet too, especially when you take the prop guards off. Let's give you some flips or something. Flips. I do find that the motors kind of stall if you hold the throttle down for too long, so definitely be aware of that. A little barrel roll type maneuver there, and it will flip while it's moving. Like, see that? This thing, I really like this thing. It flies super nice. I wish it was a little more calm today for you guys for this review. I flew this thing yesterday at the library. The library's closed here in the town I live in on Wednesdays, so I haven't flown there too much, but occasionally I will stop in the parking lot in the back and fly back there, and it is nice. It was flying nice yesterday. It was calm, sunny, beautiful. I'll roll some footage on that probably at the end, leave you guys with that footage. All right, let's go back to the second rate here. This third rate, I don't know if I can hit this gate in the third rate. I'm not real good at gates. It's not my thing. It's just not my thing. Oh my goodness. I just keep hitting this camera. Oh man. It's good footage though. I cannot wait to review this footage. I'm not even doing it on purpose. How about that? Whoa. Did not realize I was facing that way. So there you go, a little orientation problems. So be aware of that definitely if you're starting out or even if you're just flying this thing. Come on. So if I was gonna critique the gate a little bit, I like the setup, and it seems like a decent quality and everything. I'm pretty excited to try it with like a tiny whoop style flyer. But for these line of sight ones, I wish they made them just a slightly bigger. But you know, obviously the more practice you get, the easier this is gonna be for you. So I obviously don't have a ton of experience doing these gates. I gotta take them in kind of slow. And it's a little easier to do indoors. You're not fighting the elements. Let's go back to the third right here and see if we can give you a funnel. It will funnel nice, but yeah, it's getting blown by the wind. So I'll show you that. I funneled it yesterday at the library, so I guess I'll show you that. I'll give you one of these things. This is gives you like a little yaw spin. I'm definitely gonna have to do that again. One thing I don't like about it too, that yaw spin type maneuver, once it goes into that yaw spin, here we go, I can't stop it. So wherever it's going, when that happens is where it's gonna go. So now I got rumbling here on the controller. So I'm gonna hit the auto land button and let it go in and do its thing. So there you go, auto land. The vibrating controller. I do like that, it's a nice feature. And you shut it off here. A little bit tough to, I wish they did something different with this on-off switch, because that's kind of hard to find, and I almost feel like when I press it, I don't always know if I actually hit it or not. But anyway, nice little outdoor line of sight in the wind. See, look at the flag over there. We're moving pretty good in the flag. Pretty windy out, and this guy didn't have any problems with it. So if you want to fly this indoor, outdoor, no problems there. Speaking of indoor, why don't I give you guys a little indoor flight with these gates. Hopefully I won't crush my Yi camera again. So let's cut to that footage. Ooh, butterfly. So I'm not real sure why I was so excited about that butterfly. I thought it was kind of cool that it came through. Anyway, rather than giving you a full indoor flight, I'm just going to give you some highlights here of me flying around my kitchen. I did have the prop guard, circular thing, whatever you want to call it, prop protector on for these flights. And indoors, it really does save you bumping into things, and it does fly very well as long as you're not trying to get too aggressive on your maneuvers, and it doesn't particularly flip very well with the prop guards on. Another nice feature that does have, as you see here, is I ran into the gate, and it kills the motors if you run into something. So for beginners, or if you just want to save your motors, that is a really nice feature. And it does fly real well inside. I typically kept it on a lower rate because it gets pretty quick on the higher rates, and you don't want to go flying around in a small area like my house here real quick. As you can see, I'm bouncing into things and everything, so it is a nice little setup they have there. I do wish the gates were slightly bigger though. As you see, I'm kind of bumping them and bumping into the chair here. So my one con is I wish the gates were just slightly bigger, but I realize it is a pretty tight package that they're packing in the quad, and 2 gates and a flag, and the gates do form a square or boxier type gate, but I found that one was a little more unstable than these. I like these like circular, almost like the St. Louis Arch type of looking gate. So there's a nice flip for you, and as you see, it doesn't recover real well with the prop guard on when you're doing flips or acrobatics and stuff like that. So be aware when you're flying it. And other than that, I really like this setup. Ooh, hit the ceiling there. That was the other thing I wanted to mention, is that when it flips, it kind of gives itself a little throttle. So definitely be aware of that if you're going to be flying this indoors. So there, I flipped it a little bit lower and it recovered fine. It is a nice set, and at the time it came out, I think it was between 70, 80 bucks, something like that. But now you can get a really good deal on it. It's under 30 bucks on Amazon, and you can pick it up at Walmart too, I think around 25, something like that. So at that price, I would highly recommend this. It is a nice deal. It flies very well. It'd be good for a beginner, and it does come with a nice race set. You can set up the gates. Even if you're not super interested in the quad, the gates themselves are pretty much worth it for the price they're asking for the quad now. For under 30 bucks, you get a nice quad, you get the gates, you get a flag, and have some fun. You and your buddies pick up a couple, and then you got a whole race set, and you're good to go. It does have a very nice build quality. The plastic seems very durable. The props seem very durable, and it does have that feature where the motors will shut off. So I haven't broken a prop and haven't had any real damage whatsoever, and I've banged it around quite a bit. So I'm going to recommend this one, especially at the discounted price that it's at now. And I'm going to leave you guys with the footage from the library that I talked to you about. And I want to say thanks to Nikko Air for sending me this one for review. And I'll see you guys in the next video.
When